Hey guys, Nick Montiel, founder of Essential Agency here, and today I want to discuss a couple of important topics that I found are a big issue for a lot of businesses. So I work with a lot of different clients, and I find that a very common issue that a lot of these businesses face is they don't necessarily know how to qualify their leads properly. Now we touched base on this a little bit on the last video, but I felt like I wanted to expand on this subject a bit more, just because qualification is such an important, crucial role of the sales process. You know, you got generating your leads, you got the qualification process, you got appointment booking process, and then finally you also have the sales call itself, the closing process. All of these play their role. They're all very important, but the qualification process is something that is very often overlooked. Now, what I do with Essential Agency is we teach people how they can generate leads with the system that we created. That's great and dandy. Having leads is amazing. Everybody needs leads, right? But I find that people will often overlook the next step, which is the qualification process, and they rush themselves. They rush into trying to get the appointment. They handle the inbox, they handle their messaging very poorly. So when you get a lead, they're gonna either tell you that they're interested and they want to learn more, or they're gonna tell you, hey, I'm not interested, or please don't contact me. Now it completely depends on how you phrase that question or how you phrase the initial message. It all comes down to that, and the way that you phrase that is gonna completely determine how they're gonna respond to you. How they respond to you is gonna either make the follow-up question or the next response that you give them a lot easier, a lot more difficult. So when you're having your conversations with your leads, whether it be on Sales Navigator, whether it be on inbox directly on LinkedIn, it's very important that you don't rush it, and it's very important that the messages, I'll say this again, very important that the messages are not generic. You can't just have like a one-size-fits-all script for everybody. No way, that's not gonna work. It needs to be personalized, it needs to be very organic, and it needs to be thought after. So a lot of people, what they use, and it's not a bad idea, a lot of people will actually use ChatGPT to help them with their messaging. I'm not completely against that, but it's not entirely personalized, and it's not gonna entirely sound organic and natural if you use ChatGPT. Sure, if you're extremely busy and you have no extra time on your hands and you find that you're just overwhelmed with the amount of leads that you have, then maybe having ChatGPT help you could make sense. But I would always rather have an appointment setter, like a real person, handle those messages for me, right? Someone that I've trained personally, someone that knows everything that I know about appointment setting, someone that knows my scripts, knows my philosophy, knows what I know when it comes to this business, to handle it for me. Now that's gonna obviously cost you a lot more money, but it's gonna allow you to have better quality appointments. It's also gonna allow you to have better conversations with all of the leads. So here's an example of a very good question that I like to use for my business in order to get leads for my business. And this is one of the messages that I use for some of my other clients as well that are also looking to get leads for their business. Now, this is just one message. I use a very wide variety of different messages, and this is one that has worked very well for me. So here's how it goes. Hi, first name. I'm looking to build a long-term partnership with someone because I have a lot of warm leads coming in. So partnering with someone like yourself that could potentially provide good quality services and someone that I can actually trust and build a close relationship with is something that's really important to me and something that I'm currently looking for. Let me know if you can be that person. This message is very welcoming. It lets them know your intentions straight off the bat, and it lets them know what you're looking for. I let them know right away that I have warm leads and I'm looking to offload these warm leads to somebody that can help them. This is intentionally what I'm trying to do, but I phrase it in a way where I use a little bit of reverse psychology in the sense that I'm looking to build a partnership with someone that I can trust and someone that can provide good quality services for my clients. So in a way, what I'm doing is I'm interviewing the leads that come through to see if they are a good fit and are there someone that I actually want to work with. Because finding people to work with isn't difficult, but finding good people to work with is very difficult. Because you can have a client that pays you all the money in the world, but that person can be very difficult to work with. Or you can have someone that doesn't pay you as much money, but they're very easy to work with. I would 10 out of 10 times rather work with someone that's easy to work with and pay me a bit less than someone that's paying me more and it's very difficult to work with. Being being friends with or getting along really well with your customer is so much better than having someone that's just not easy to work with. So in a way, like, you need to present yourself from a point of value. You are the one that's providing the value here. You are the one that has what this person needs and or wants. You need to present yourself as such. You cannot be chasing people. You cannot seem like you come from a place of desperation. You cannot seem like you need them. No. You don't need them. To be quite frank, you don't need any of them. They need you, and you need to come across that way. So when you phrase your messages like this, I'm looking for someone that can provide good quality services and someone that I can actually trust and build a close relationship with. This makes it very clear that yes, I would like to do business with you only under these conditions. Okay, if you are going to be this person, then I would love to have a conversation with you and I would love to discuss doing business with you. If you're not going to be that person, then I don't want to work with you. It makes it very clear from the get-go that you have a fine boundary that you will not cross, and the only way that you will cross that boundary is if they are accepting of your conditions and are accepting of what you're looking for. So this automatically puts you in a position of power because it lets them know right off the get-go that there is a chance that even if they want to work with you, you're going to say no to them, right? People don't want what's easy. They want what's hard to get. Very straightforward. So when you present yourself like that, it's going to allow you to have a better point of view from that client. You're going to be perceived as more valuable to them. Now, how you follow up with that message is very important. Now, people can respond in a million different ways. There's a million different ways they can respond to that message, right? And you need to be able to respond in a way that doesn't sound salesy. You cannot sound like you're trying to sell them something. You never want to pitch anything to anybody over text. You never want to come from a place, like I said earlier, of desperation, like you need to get on a call with them. And this is the point that I see a lot of people fail. A lot of people fail because they rush into trying to get an appointment, which is never what you want to do. You never want to rush into trying to get an appointment. The appointment should happen on its own. A lot of the times, the best case scenario is you're going to be having your conversations with your leads through the DMs, and they're going to ask you, hey, can we hop on a sales call? Or hey, can we hop on a Zoom call? Hey, this would be easier if we got on Zoom. That's what you want. They're initiating that. You don't want to initiate that. You want everything to be initiated from them. When they initiate these kinds of things, it means that they're comfortable with you. They trust you to some extent. Rapport has been built and they're interested and they see value in you. That's why they're giving you the time of day. Hey, you know what? I like this conversation. Or hey, you know what? I like what you've been saying. Or hey, you know what? This is great. Let's hop on a Zoom call. They're giving you your time of day. They're giving you, time because they see that you have value. They see that what you're presenting to them or what you have to offer is something that could potentially benefit them. So coming across that way is extremely important. I see a lot of people and a lot of my clients that, are handling the campaigns on their own without my assistance. And I see a lot of them have a difficult time qualifying their leads. And they'll get all of these appointments and they'll get all these leads, but then they hop on the sales call and they're like, wow, this is not very qualified. This was very difficult to close. I didn't close it. Why didn't I close it? Well, because you didn't qualify it at all. There's a lot of things that you should do and spend your time with beforehand to ensure that when you get on the call, you're well prepared. The whole point of qualifying somebody as well is just to make sure that before you get on that sales call, you can come prepared to that sales call. So if you guys use a booking link like Calendly, when you use something like that, you should have questions that the person is, forced to ask before they go ahead and schedule that call with you. So for example, one of the questions that I like to ask on my booking link, because I have a booking link. So what happens is when I'm messaging my leads and we're talking to the DMs and they say, hey, let's book a Zoom call, or hey, let's get on Zoom and talk, I'll send them my booking link. And then at the same time, it's going to ask them some questions. So I've already qualified them and built rapport through the DMs. So that's already been established. That's already there. And then to take a step further, I have a booking link that asks them even more questions to even further prepare me for that sales call so that I'm well prepared going into it. I know what to offer them. I know what they need. I know what their problem is, and I know how to solve their problem. So here's some questions you can ask on your booking link. For example, if you use Calendly, how many appointments with qualified prospects are you currently getting per week? How many additional appointments with qualified prospects would you like per week? What is your current monthly revenue? If what we show you today makes sense and solves your problem, would you be willing to invest today? What is your targeted monthly revenue? And are you the sole decision maker of this business? So again, these questions are tailored to my business. So these are the things that I would like to know about the person before I talk to them to present them what I offer and the services that I have. So obviously, if you're a different company and if you're a software development company watching this, or if you are a marketing company watching this, or if you provide paid advertising services, or you provide web development services, then you're probably going to need different questions, right? You're not going to want to copy paste what I have. You're going to need something different. So if you need something different, sit down and figure out, okay, what information would really help me prepare for this call better? What information about the client would I like to have before I get on this call so that I can properly prepare something for them. You know how nice it is when you have the information beforehand and you can actually create a proposal beforehand and then go into that sales call with a proposal? You know how much more professional you look and, organized and just well prepared in general? They're gonna be blown away when you have all this information about their company and a tailored solution for their business. It's gonna make you stand out that much more. It's gonna make it seem like you genuinely care about them, and it's gonna make it seem like you're very organized and very prepared for everything. That is someone that most people are gonna wanna work with. Someone that is prepared, on time, organized, and can really help them. Because going out of your way like that, it's gonna take some time. But when you show up to a business meeting with a full-on proposal that you've taken the time to make beforehand, that's super tailored and customized for their business, that's gonna go miles for you because they're gonna be blown away by the amount of work that you've done before you even decided to work together. So having that beforehand is extremely valuable. And then, those are the questions that you can ask, for example, for your booking link, but those are tailored for my business. You may need to make some different ones depending on the services that you're offering. So again, I'll repeat a couple of things I just mentioned. So qualifying the lead, sending them the proper message, the initial proper message is super, super important. Sending a message where you're coming from a position of value, a position of power, a position of, hey, I have this, but I don't need you, but I know this can help you. And I would love to see, if you'd be open to chatting about it. Something like that, right? You can tailor this in any way you want to. That was one of my messages. I use like 15, 20 other messages. I have a bunch of different templates that I use. Now, again, it's going to be different for every business. This is what works for my business. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for your business. But if you are a lead generation company watching this video right now, then that is a message that you can definitely use and it will 100% work for you as it works great for me. So once they respond to that message, how you take that further and how you handle the following steps is extremely important as well. You want to make sure that, again, you don't sound salesy. You want to make sure that you don't try to pitch them anything or try to sell them anything through the DMs. You want to make sure that you sound very nonchalant, very natural, very organic, very laid back, very chill, very no pressure. You want to make sure that they're very comfortable with you. You want to build rapport. You want to joke around with them a little bit, get to know them a bit better, ask some questions about their personal life, maybe dig deeper a little bit. Now, of course, this is going to take some time. This is not going to be quick. A lot of people, they want to rush to the appointment. They want to get that appointment as soon as possible so that they can get them on the call and sell them right away. But I'm telling you, in this business, it's quality over quantity. You're better off having 5 very good appointments every single day as opposed to 10 okay appointments every single day. If you go about it the regular way and you send them a message and then they respond and then you rush into it, you try to get them on an appointment as soon as possible, you send them your Zoom link, you send them all this stuff right away, and then you get them on the call, you're going to end up sitting in front of someone that isn't qualified, doesn't have rapport built, doesn't have trust built, and is most likely not going to close because you're going to come to that meeting completely unprepared and not know anything about them. That's not the position that you want to be in. Take the extra time. I know it's annoying and it takes time, but take the extra time, have a conversation with them, get to know them, build rapport, ask questions, qualify better, create a proper booking link that has qualification questions on it that forces them to answer those questions before they go ahead and schedule that call so that you can take the time, build a proposal, come up with a custom plan for them, present them that custom plan on your sales call. You're gonna have a much higher chance of closing them on that call. This right here, these simple steps that, yes, they take more time, you will inevitably increase your closing ratio. I guarantee if you do what I told you, you will double your closing ratio just by simply taking a little bit more time before you go ahead and schedule those calls. Going that extra mile is time consuming. This is why I say hire an appointment setter. If you have the budget, if you have the extra resources, hire an appointment setter, train them, teach them, tell them about your business, tell them what you want to know beforehand, tell them the qualification questions you want to ask, tell them how to properly message people, tell them the messages that they need to be sending, explain to them how to reply to people properly, explain to them the niche that you want to target, explain. You need to make sure that all these people that you're hiring for appointment setting, if you do decide to do that, are well trained so that they can absolutely replace you completely. I would never let someone handle my appointment setting and all my leads if I knew for a fact that they couldn't completely replace the work that I do. If they couldn't replace my level of accuracy, I wouldn't want them there because they're gonna burn my leads and book terrible calls into my calendar. I don't want that. Wasting my time. And you shouldn't be wasting your time either. You should care about your time. So if that is you and you have that budget, then go the extra mile, hire the appointment setter, get it done properly. It's gonna be worth your while. If you do have the time, then do it yourself. Take the extra time, qualify these leads, and make sure that they're properly booked into your calendar. Now, when you get on a sales call, I touched on this a little bit last time. You need to make sure that when you're on a sales call, you start off the call very relaxed, crack some jokes, build some rapport. Don't go straight into the sales call right away. You need to take things back a notch and and make sure that the client can trust you and that there's no pressure involved. You don't want to start off the call with pressure. You want to make sure the call comes from a very relaxed point of view. And you need to carry the same energy that you had in the DMs into your call. So don't switch up on them on the call. The message that you sent to them initially, as mentioned, is going to allow you to come from a position of value. It's going to allow you to approach from a position of power. You need to bring that same energy into your sales call. You know, like, I don't need you. This is what I have. This is what I'm looking for. And if that is you, great. We can do business together. I have these services. We can potentially talk about how they may work for you and how they may work for your business and how they may help you. Because at the end of the day, if you're offering services that are going to help someone's business, well, guess what? That is a mutual partnership. Because yes, they're going to pay you for the services, but what are your services going to do? Your services are going to help them make more money. Are they not? That's why you offer these services, because these services that you're offering are there to help the business grow. They're there to help the business make more money. They're there to help the business get more leads. They're there so the business's brand and social media can grow. That's why you offer those services. And that all comes down to them eventually making more money. So your services are going to help a business make more money. In exchange, they're going to send you money for them to work with you. So it is a mutual partnership. It is a partnership where both parties win. You need to explain it that way though, right? They're not buying anything from you. They're buying the right to work with you because you have a valuable service that can 100% benefit them. But they're not going to know that or believe in that unless you come from a position of value and you position yourself as such. Like, hey, like I said, hey, I have these great services. This is what I offer. This is what I can do. But I know I can help you. I'd love to help you. But hey, like, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. Can you be that person? If you can be that person, like, hey, let's work together. If you can't be that person, so be it. It was very nice meeting you. Hope you have a lovely day. Don't settle for less. Don't be afraid to say no to people. Okay? Have an abundance mindset with this business. You need to have an abundance mindset. It's okay to say no to people. It's okay to say, hey, I don't want to work with you. It's okay to say, hey, this is not going to be a good fit for us. It's okay. People will respect you more and will have more value for you and look at you with more power when you do these kinds of things. It's okay to say no. I say no to a lot of people all the time. If I can't trust them, if I feel like their services aren't good quality, or if I feel like they're going to be difficult to work with, I have no problem saying, hey, you know what? This is not a good fit. I don't think we should do business together. And a lot of people are blown away by that when I say that, because no one ever does that. Nobody ever does that. I would say very few times you'll see someone reject money. Very few times you'll see someone say, hey, I don't want to work with you. Or the client is like, hey, I would love to do business with you. Hey, I would love to work with you. And then the person providing the service will say, I would love to work with you as well, but unfortunately, due to these circumstances, I don't think this is going to be a good fit. I don't think this is going to be a good partnership together. So for that reason, I love the fact that you would like to work with me. I love the fact that you see value in these services, but for these reasons, I don't think we're going to be a good fit, and I don't want to work with you. Sorry about that. When I say that to people in that way, they're blown away because they never get that. Nobody ever says that to them. But that puts you in a position of value because you need to view yourself as such. So as mentioned, we touched on this a little bit last time about how to handle your sales calls and how to build a problem for a business. So I prepared some questions that you can use for your sales calls to really help you with building a problem and then providing a solution. And this is going to really help you touch and drag those pain points out of the client and really extract what the problem is that they're currently dealing with and how your business can solve those problems. So before you actually go directly into building the problem, you need to make sure that you understand a few certain points about their business. So some important questions that I recommend that you ask the actual business when you're on the sales call with them is the following. Can you tell me a bit about your business? What products and or services do you offer? That is great. Who is your ideal customer? The third question, how are you currently generating leads and securing appointments with your business? How well is this method currently working for you? Are you hitting your sales quotas? So these are some initial questions that I'll ask at the beginning stages of the call. They're very open-ended questions. I dig deep and I ask them a few extra questions just to make sure that they are telling me in fact what is the truth. And then once that is done, I'll go into actually targeting the pain points of the actual business itself. So figuring out, okay, what makes this person tick? What is the actual reasoning behind these problems right now? And let's talk about, the actual problems themselves. Now, these questions to an extent are tailored for my business. So if you are a lead generation company, okay, this will work amazing for you. If you're not a lead generation company, then you may need to look at other, potential questions that you may be able to ask, but you can still follow the same guideline and still follow the same, template. So here's one of the great questions that I like to start with. Lead generation and booking appointments can be a very challenging thing. What are the biggest pain points and or frustrations that you're currently facing with your approach? Great question. Next one. That sounds tough. How much time and resources are you currently spending on lead generation? Question mark. Next question. And are you seeing a good return on that investment? investment? So if they say yes to the final question, the previous question, then you can follow it up with, and are you seeing a good return on that investment? If they say no, then you can say, why have you never considered investing into lead generation services before? Question mark. So if they say yes to that, you're gonna say, are you seeing a good return on your investment? Something you could follow up with would be, it seems like there's some room for improvement. Have you ever missed out on potential clients because you couldn't reach them or follow up in time? So this basically translates into asking them, are you super busy? Do you not have time? Is that one of the reasons? Are you just too busy, right? That's a great follow-up question. The next one, that can definitely hold a business back. How often do you struggle with keeping up with the volume of leads or booking your appointments? Again, a direct correlation to if they are busy or not. Next one, and what impact does this have on your business and its revenue? So if they tell you they're not getting enough appointments, or they tell you that they're too busy to manage everything, you can directly ask them, hey, how is this directly impacting your business right now? Is your revenue increasing? Is it stagnating? Is it decreasing? Get them to open up, ask them questions. Next question, it sounds like these issues are really affecting your business. Would you agree that finding a reliable solution to this problem is critical? Very good question. It puts them in a place where they really have to think. And it's a very direct question as well. It's very yes or no. If they say yes, then that's a great thing. You can build on that. So next question would be, if these problems continue, what do you think will happen to your business? This really gets them to think. If things are going well, then there's a chance that the business will continue to decline. If things are stagnating, there's a chance that it's going to continue to stagnate. So this really gets them to think, and it gets them to open up. Next question. This is another direct question. So if they say yes, things are not going well, things are probably going to get worse, you're going to ask them, and is that something that you want happening to your business? Question mark. Of course, they're going to say no to that. They may say yes if they're an idiot, but most of the time they're going to say no. So if they say no to that, a great follow-up question is going to be, so dealing with this problem is important to you, right? They're going to say yes. And then you're going to ask them, how important would you say on a scale of 1 to 10 dealing with this problem is for you right now? They're going to tell you either 5, 6, 9, or 10. If they tell you 10, then you know this is very urgent and you know that a solution needs to be present quickly. If they say 5, then you need to dig a little bit deeper. If they say 5, then it clearly shows that the problem that they have right now isn't important enough for them to take action today. If they say 10, then it's going to be much easier to sell them on the same day. But if they say 5, then you're going to need to dig a little bit deeper and ask a few more questions about how the business is currently affecting not only their business itself, but maybe their personal life, maybe their family life, maybe life outside of the business. How is it affecting everything around them? And what are their goals? Do they have any goals for the future? Financial goals? Do they have goals of taking care of their family? Do they have goals about buying their parents a house? Do they have goals about buying a really nice car? How important are their goals to them? And are these goals in fact correlated to their business succeeding and doing well? If they are, you can use that as a pain point to help build a stronger, deeper emotional problem that they're going to be able to actually resonate with to more or less take action that day. So these are some questions that you can most definitely use for your sales calls. Now, as mentioned, these are for my business. These are what I use for my lead generation calls. Now, if you are a different business, you may need to tailor your messages in a different way, but you can use the same template. So I hope your sales calls goes well, and I hope this video here today helped you out with your qualification process, your sales process a little bit. I hope this video helped you out today, and I hope it taught you how to qualify your leads properly. Take your time with the qualification process. Don't rush it. And if you don't have the time, hire an appointment setter. Remember, quality over quantity is essential with this business. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching my video today, and I will see you guys on the next video.